So welcome to the Year 1 Parent Information video. You all probably know by now, I am Mrs Doyle, the class teacher, and this year working alongside me will be Joy. And before I start this presentation, just want to say to all the parents, please come and speak to us about anything that's worrying you, concerning you, or anything you want to share with us, because we're always here to help and support you in whatever way we possibly can. So this presentation will outline some of the things that we're doing this year while your child's in Year 1, and hopefully answer any questions that you do have. But just to be aware that on Wednesday, from 3 o'clock onwards, we are having a Year 1 drop-in session should you have any questions that aren't answered today that you'd like to ask. So, Year 1, we have letters and sounds. Now, letters and sounds we taught every day to help the children with their sounding out, blending, sight reading, reading fluency and spelling. And the repetitive nature of this programme helps the children to make progress with their reading and writing. So in the reception, they did phase 2, phase 3 and phase 4. This term in Year 1, we will be recapping phase 4 and then we'll be moving on to phase 5, looking at consonant sounds, and as I said, reading, blending, and I say repetitive nature, so that the children really supports their reading. In June of next year, the children will complete a phonics screening check. And this check consists of 40 words that include some real words and some nonsense words that are presented as names of monsters. The children are required to read these words independently. And near the time, I'll give you a little bit more information about this check. But as I said, the letters and sound sessions really support this phonics screening check, and it is nothing for your child to worry about or for you to worry about. So reading. Reading in Year 1 will consist of guided reading practice for 15 to 20 minutes at least once a week. These sessions will support the progress of your child's sight word recognition, sounding out and blending using letters and sounds work, fluency, expression, intonation, and there'll be some comprehension activities. Now, reading books should be read at home more than once to help your child improve their expression, fluency, and understanding. And these books can be changed every few days, and your children will have a home reader and a class library book. The home reader books match your child's developing phonics knowledge and fluency. And your child should read this book out loud to an adult at home on more than one occasion. But the class library book is a reading for pleasure book, and these can be shared and read by an adult and child together. And your child will always get to choose this book themselves. And here at St George's, we really want to instill a love of reading. So really sort of encouraging parents to read as much as possible at home, and encouraging your children to change their books as much as possible. So maths. Maths will be taught every day in Year 1. And this year we're starting a new scheme called Power Maths. And that aims to give the children mastery of their mathematics. We're using lots of manipulatives, sort of number lines, cubes, counters, shapes, to really support the children in developing this mastery. And the key objectives and vocabulary for each unit that I teach will be handed out in the coming days. Spellings will be sent home on a Friday for a test the following Friday. And the words to learn will be a mixture of spelling patterns, sounds and common exception words from the Year 1 and 2 common exception word list, which you can see on the PowerPoint here. The common exception words are those that the children are expected to spell correctly and consistently in any piece of writing from any subject by the end of Year 2. So this week, the children will have, over the next couple of weeks, some of these common exception words, the Year 1 ones, because I know that in reception with Mr Barty, they did do some of these words. So just reinforce those. But as I said, in the coming weeks, you might find that it's actually a spelling pattern that we'll be learning in letters and sounds that their spellings will follow. And there'll be 8 spellings, and we'll send out the marks, what they got out of 8 for you to see. Okay, PE will be on a Friday, and children should come to school wearing their PE kit. And it'll be on a Friday afternoon, and they should be wearing their house coloured T-shirt. So if they're in Farah, they should be wearing blue. If they are in Simmons, they should be wearing yellow. If they're in Wiggins, they should be wearing red. And if they're in Ennis Hill, they should be wearing green. And if you don't have a school PE t-shirt, then if you inquire at the office, they can direct you as to where to order these from. So science. Year 1 science topics will be everyday materials, plants and animals, body parts, and seasonal changes. And the seasonal changes we will look at throughout the course of the whole year to develop the children's, understanding and knowledge of seasonal changes. PSHE, we've bought into a scheme called Jigsaw that the children started at the beginning of last year. And there are 6 puzzles within Jigsaw. We've got Being Me in My World, Celebrating Differences, Dreams and Goals, Healthy Me, Relationships, and Changing Me. And within each puzzle, there is pieces to put together, and the children develop these year on year as they move through St George's. And in terms of our wider curriculum, throughout the 3 terms, we have a predominant subject focus. This doesn't mean that we don't teach other subjects within that term. It just means that the weighting is predominantly on one subject area. So for example, this term, autumn term, is known as our Discover term with a main history focus, which is led around our big question, what is a hero? And we'll be looking at Guy Fawkes and the Gunpowder Plot, Florence Nightingale, Mary Seacole and Edith Cavell. But as I said, within the autumn term, we will still look at bits of geography, we'll still do art, we'll still do music, but the main focus is history. Within our spring term, which is known as our Explore term, it is geography led. And our big question is, what does it mean to belong? We'll be looking at our local area. The children will be learning about the 7 continents, the 4 countries and the capital cities of the United Kingdom. And again, in the Create term, which is our summer term, the predominant focus will be art and DT, but there will be links to history and geography, music, computing, as there is throughout the other terms. The big question being, what makes the world special? We'll be looking at self-portraits and then moving pictures with levers and sliders. So, as I said, because this is a video, you can't obviously ask me any questions right now, but on Wednesday, at 3 o'clock, I will be around in the amphitheatre, which is if you walk across this main playground, you will see me. I'll be looking out for you. If you've got any questions that are sort of class specific, as I say, if you've got individual questions about your child's individual needs, then it's probably best to sort of speak to me individually about that. But if you've got any questions in general about, how you can further support your child, or you're sort of unsure about, anything that I've said in this video, then please come along on Wednesday. And I will on Wednesday have some more information to give out, sort of what we'll be covering in maths and English, so you can have those materials to support your child at home. But as I said at the beginning of the video, please, please, please always feel that you can come and speak to myself and Joy. We're here to help, we're here to support, and we really, really want the children to have a really good, positive, fun year in year 1. Okay, thanks for listening.